Hey, what's going on? This is episode 256 of the Nintendo Powercast. I'm your host, N64 Josh, player 2, back from somewhere. Hate Zero, Eric, what's up, dude?
What's going on? And what is up, NPC fam? I am back. It's Hate Zero, your boy, your hero.
Wow. Player 3,
Mixed it up.
Nightcrawler, what's happening?
Hey, how's it going? And it's Crawler coming at you.
That music you just heard is from On Being Human. You can check them out on Spotify and YouTube. This is an unofficial Nintendo podcast. And if you'd like to get yourself a free book from Audible, head on over to n64josh.com/audible. That takes you directly to my book, Another Castle, on Audible. Get it for free if you want. Or head on over to audibletrial.com/NPC. That'll also get you a free book of your choice. All right. Check out something awesome like Blood, Sweat, and Pixels and hear all about how they made Stardew Valley and Destiny and Shovel Knight, you know, just to name a few. Okay? audibletrial.com/NPC. The chair I'm sitting in is from OP Seat. If you need a gaming chair, if you're a gamer, you kind of do. $20 off right now, plus an extra $10 off if you go to n64josh.com/OPSeat and free shipping. I mean, you're looking at a sweet chair for a sweet deal. n64josh.com/OPC. Lastly, my book, Another Castle, n64josh.com/anothercastle. If you need a little pick-me-up this time of year, maybe the weather's got you down, you live in an area that it's cloudy all the time, you just need some help, you know, seeing how awesome you are and loving yourself, check out my book, n64josh.com/anothercastle. With that, let's jump on over to the announcements.
Hey, listen!
Okay, I've been slowly adding writers to n64josh.com. If you're interested in writing for the site, we need to put up news articles, maybe some opinion pieces, things like that. Check out the site, read some of the stuff that I have written there, read some of the stuff that's been coming out recently, and see if this is something you want to do. It can help build your resume, help grow your online brand. If you're a streamer, you're on Twitter, whatever the case may be, you can tag yourself. You can even make your own YouTube videos and embed them in the posts. I just want to help other people grow while I'm growing. So I'm opening up my platform. Hopefully it can help. All right. Hit me up in the Discord, which is n64josh.com/Discord. Okay. Tag me in a post. I'll throw you in the writers section and we'll go from there. Lastly, for the announcements, if you're in the Seattle area and you know of any sweet job opportunities, hit me up. I'm still unemployed and loving every minute of it. It's really a good time. It's really a good time. All right. So, yeah, whether it be marketing, maybe some, I don't know, like content marketing, operational managers, things like that, hit me up. I'd love to do it. So that's that. With that, we can talk about what we've been playing. Eric's been all Switch all the time. He's just been playing so many Switch games, he doesn't even know what to do.
Yeah, I don't even know where to start on this conversation. So I jumped back into Breath of the Wild. You know, I got bored, started thinking about an epic that I could jump back into. So I did that. But I picked up, you know, we've talked about that at length. So if you
Are you continuing your play save, or did you start a new
I started over. You know, I was hoping that it had been long enough now that I might have started forgetting stuff, but honestly, the moment you start seeing it, it all comes back to you. Like even dialogue, I'm like, oh yeah, I know what's gonna happen next, which it's fine. It's just such a great game. But I picked up Firewatch, and you know, I'm on, I don't know how many days that game lasts, but I think I'm on day 3 now, so I'm not incredibly deep, but the story seems pretty engaging, and I'm intrigued, and I want to keep going back. So
how's that game look handheld?
Oh, you're gonna go there? Oh, you're gonna go. Okay, fine. I picked it up on Xbox. I was gonna try to pull a fast one, and Josh had to go and ruin it.
But that's free with Game Pass, though, isn't it? So
it wasn't free with Game Pass.
It wasn't? I thought it was, maybe. I thought you were being economical about it, but you still were economical more so than Switch.
I decided, like, hey, you know, I think Firewatch on Xbox is probably going to get me more frames per second than Switch, and that was the route I went, so. Ooh, sorry about that, Nintendo.
Are you excited for any games coming out?
What's coming out? Can you name some for me? I'm as we get closer to Animal Crossing, obviously I get a little bit more excited for that. But I'm kind of concerned because that's like the only game we know of that's coming out this year. As far as I can tell, that's the only game dropping on Switch this year. And I'm worried that I'm not going to love it as much as the rest of the people, and that leaves me on the outside looking in.
You and me together.
Because I have nothing else to look forward to, and it's a little bit of a depressing time right now for me as a Nintendo fan. I'm feeling a little depressed.
I think we'll talk a little bit more about that later. Crawler, what have you been playing?
Still lots of Tarkov. But I did jump back into some Final Fantasy VII. I'm at the end of like the tower in Midgar still, and I was playing just like 20-30 minutes today, and I was lost running around just getting into random battles. So I might have to figure out where I was, because I was on the elevator fight, and I don't know necessarily. It's been a while, so I need to find my way back to that fight. But yeah, that, and then still just Mario Kart here and there. That's always a good go-to. I don't know if I played more Smash between this week and last, but still hopping in there just a little bit. And yeah, I'm ready for the Final Fantasy VII remake to come out, because that's what I think that's going to be the better way to experience that story. Because the little bit I have played of Final Fantasy VII, I've enjoyed the story, so getting to see it in a more cinematic way, I think will be a lot more enjoyable.
Cool. I played quite a bit of games. You're not going to believe it.
What you got?
Last night, I was like, you know what? I'm going to play The Witcher. And I laid down in bed. I turned The Witcher on. I took 5 steps, and I went to sleep.
You did play The Witcher, though.
Yep.
I mean,
I spent more time waiting for the game to load than I actually did playing.
How is load times a problem on the handheld?
No, you can actually skip everything, but I just sat. I was like so intrigued. I was like, I think I skipped this the first time it was on, and maybe every time. So I better watch and see what kind of story we got going on here. So it was good.
And it was so good you immediately fell asleep.
It's good. No, I did get together with a friend last night. We ate an entire large pizza together, and drank an entire 6-pack together, and of soda, yeah.
Yep.
And played Mario Kart and Smash for 3 to 4 hours.
That's awesome.
Excuse me.
Oh, to be an adult and get to do that on a Monday night.
Yeah, crazy, right? Crazy. So that was the most fun I've had gaming, and there was so much. I'll be honest, there was a lot of laughing, a lot of swearing, because Mario Kart, and
it's infuriating.
Yeah. Stay tuned to my Twitter. You'll see a few. A few of the highlights. At one point, we were neck and neck on Rainbow Road, and all of these races were neck and neck the entire time. We would just switch between first and second. I was getting ready to hit the finish line. I was like, oh, this one's in the bag. He took the shortcut on the SNES Rainbow Road with the mushroom, and I think he hit the jumps from the thwomp, like when the road starts to wave. And at the very last second, I saw him on my screen. I slammed into him, and then he proceeded to just hop on his bike, and it gave him enough to get in front of me and get first place. And we were just screaming. It was the best. It was the best. So, there's still fun to be had in Mario Kart. Still fun to be had there. So
I think that's its appeal for sure. I mean, online is fine and it can be fun, but there's nothing better than playing Mario Kart like how it was 15 years ago, and just talking smack to your friends, and eating pizza, drinking adult sodas, and just gaming like you used to. Like, I don't think anything beats that. Okay, things beat that, but nothing gaming wise beats that.
He's got 2 of the wheels, the Mario Kart wheels. So we're gonna give those things a test one of these days.
Man, you got to film that.
So you can actually say I'm using tilt controls.
Yeah, so we will film that for sure. So he's also got LAN adapters for the GameCube. So we're gonna set up and do some like
Double dash.
Yeah, like you could do 16 with 2 TVs. You could do 16 player double dash because you can do 2 people per cart. Yeah,
Crazy.
Yeah,
That would be
Like it's like
Chaos.
SNES multi-port on crack.
right.
I don't think I know 16 people.
How do you all fit around 2 TVs? Like,
Right. Yeah, it'll be tricky. So
well, because I think if you have 8 people playing on a Switch, you can't have. I think they all have to be on Joy-Con.
wait, I take
think-
that back. With the GameCube, you only have 4 ports for controllers, so I don't know that you could do more than.
They didn't have a multi-port adapter on GameCube. I don't really remember. It's
I have
been a while.
no clue. I have no clue. So.
So you can at least do 8.
Yeah, and I have a HDMI adapter for my GameCube because the chat's saying only worth it if you have 2 CRTs, which I do have one. I might have 2 actually. So, but yeah, no, it was a really good time. Like we threw down in Smash for a while too. It was good, and I feel like I've just been. Kind of like I still have that. I didn't end up getting time to finish Pokemon yet. So I'm still looking forward to doing that. But yeah, it's just I've really been appreciating like the Switch on the go and have been playing a little bit before I go to bed. Also hooked up the Wii U and played emulated a bunch of 64 games. So
Nice.
played a bunch of the emulators on there. Mario Kart 64. 1080, did the trick attack, did some racing, things like that. So
I know it doesn't make sense, but I become more and more compelled to pick up a Wii U as time goes on. And
the
yeah,
eShop
I mean,
alone is worth it.
As I say, I still have mine. Whenever it's announced that the eShop is going to be shutting down on that, I think there's going to be a lot of people wanting to pick it up and purchase things. Mainly because I think I have both Ocarina and Majora's purchased on there. I haven't sat down and played it, but what?
Orc.
We're gonna get more there's gonna be a review tomorrow
bombed.
about
This guy says
Orc-
Orcarina.
Ocarina. It's okay. It's all right.
All right, but
He's like,
they
screw you guys.
I'm continuing my story.
He just moves on.
Yes, I'm not going to go back there.
Is an ocarina like a ballerina that's an orc? That's what.
Yeah. Oh, that sounds like a fun game. Ocarina of Time. I like that.
Orcs and tutus. Let's do it. But I think they did some small changes to Majora's Mask on the 3DS port. So it's a good way to have that original port even if you don't have the 64 cart. So that's, I mean, there's some game preservation kind of stuff that can live on through the Wii U eShop.
And that's kind of the compelling reason for me. You know, I'm assuming we're gonna get some of those HD remasters, you know, Wind Waker and Twilight Princess and stuff. But until we do, the Wii U's the best system to have if you're a Zelda fan.
It plays the most Zelda, it plays the most Zelda games.
And so that's kind of my thoughts. That's like, man, I'm longing for, especially now when Nintendo's refusing to talk to me. They don't return my calls. They don't tweet at me. And, you know, right now I'm just thirsting for something. So I keep looking at the Wii U. It would fill my time and keep me busy.
Yeah.
I'm sure GameStop has some open for 150 maybe, even bundles with games and stuff.
Oh, I think they're even cheaper than that. I saw some bundles. But
That's cool. All right, we're gonna get to the news.
Let's do it.
All right. Okay, we got this news today. New games announced. for NES Online and SNES Online, out February 19th. For the NES, we have Shadow of the Ninja and Eliminator Boat Duel. For the SNES, we have Poppin' Twin B and Smash Tennis. So, these were games that I remember from my childhood.
I'm interested in Eliminator Boat Duel just because it's supposed to be like, Hate Fell Asleep.
Eric fell. A Twin B just flew out of his mouth. I think a Twin B flew out of his mouth.
Were you guys announcing things that I've never heard of in my entire life? Was that what just happened to put me asleep?
Yeah. Japan's getting different ones, I think, too, or an added one. I think I was kind of going through trying to look for what they're getting, but they always tend to get different stuff.
Yeah. Don't even. It's man. I'm obviously upset we're not getting a direct, or one hasn't been announced. I'm thirsting for something. I'm getting frustrated. Then Nintendo goes and totally redeems themselves and announces 4 retro games that I've been waiting to play my entire life. Long?
What if it had been Turtles in Time?
Well, they could have honestly gave us something cool, and that would. I mean, Smash Tennis doesn't look bad. It looks like maybe it'd be fun, but I'm not gonna. Old sports games outside of a few really, really great titles.
Yeah,
they don't hold up well.
No, they don't.
Yeah, they're hard to control and frustrating, and
yeah, it does give you an appreciation for new stuff though. You can show kids like, see what we had to put up with. Like, you guys don't know how good you have it. This was cutting edge,
Right. Get off my lawn. The chat is saying Chrono Trigger. Guys, it was a joke. There is no Chrono Trigger announced. I'm sorry. I wish there was. I want to play it too. So, yeah. We'll get into the more. We're gonna jump back into this whole direct drought for our talking point here. But Pokemon Home is live and able to be downloaded on the eShop. The mobile version is also available on iOS and Android. The Pokemon Bank app on 3DS also received an update. So there you go. I see chat saying, "Yay!" I know I don't know a whole lot about this, but yeah, you can store your Pokemon and look at them on your phone. But I think once you put them there, you can only put them back on your Switch.
Yeah, there's a whole slew, because I think there's paid and non-paid and all sorts of different stuff, and amounts you can store, amounts you can transfer, and there's details to be found somewhere. We're not the go-to source for Pokemon minute stuff. So
what? We aren't. All this time, I thought we were. All this time. So what's next on the old news docket there, Nightcrawler?
This is a fun one, I guess, if you're traveling. The Nintendo Switch, or Nintendo is going to be opening Switch lounges coming to 4 U.S. airports starting Thursday, February 13th. So DC, Washington DC, Seattle, Chicago's O'Hare Airport will have a lounge up from February 13th through May 29th, and then Dallas's Love Field will have a lounge starting on Thursday the 13th through the 26th of May, so ending a few days before the other ones. But they're going to have consoles for people to try out. They listed a few games, Breath of the Wild, Mario Odyssey. They did have Mario Party listed there as a game to play. I don't know how anybody is going to be able to get through a game of Mario Party waiting for an airplane, but yeah.
Sweet. It's kind of brilliant, right? This is kind of brilliant because like the Switch is the perfect plane console. Like you should, take it
as a
with
travel companion.
Yeah, it's great. Not super fond of the idea of touching something that other people are touching with the
especially flying people.
Yeah, with the coronavirus and all that fun stuff. Yeah.
I'm sure they will sanitize it every few hours.
Yeah, because I picked up a Switch Lite at Target yesterday, and I was like, this thing's got DNA on it, and I put it back down. I was like, I need a chemical shower. So,
But in these pop-up lounges, travelers will be able to. You can make purchases. They're not going to have stuff there for you to get. It's going to be like 2-day shipping. They'll get it to you. I'm assuming that the purchases are going to be coordinated with Target because they're handing out coupons for $10 off a purchase of $75 or more of Nintendo product at Target. You can also claim a Nintendo luggage tag while you're there, and then and play the games. So
I mean, I feel like that's a little bit of a miss. If you're really excited and you don't have a Switch and you happen to be in an airport, being able to take it right then and there seems like the perfect opportunity.
Yes, and with how simple and easy point of sales software is right now to be on like phones and stuff, that they could have had consoles put in a back room and be ready to hand them out to people.
Not even the back room. You could walk into an airport and there's an automated Best Buy right there. You can buy any headphone you want. It goes bzz, 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 and it spits your headphones out. Unless you're looking for AirPods, they're always sold out. So.
Seems like a miss on that opportunity there, because it's like, oh man, I don't have anything to do and I'm here and this Switch looks cool. Maybe I'll pick one up for my son and I can play it right now. Oh, 2-day shipping. Never mind. I'll just go buy it from Amazon or just not at all.
Right.
But hey,
or I'll run to Target and use my $10 coupon.
Yeah, there you go.
I guess. So, Animal Crossing. Back in the news. Before we get too far into Animal Crossing, Eric, how do you feel about this special edition console coming out?
I don't know. I don't think I care at all. It's good for Animal Crossing. I don't like the colorway personally, so it's a non-start for me. But I mean, it's cool for people who really are invested in Animal Crossing and want that. If they want to sell me a special edition, they just need to sell me an all-white Switch console. I'll buy it day one.
Gotcha.
But
maybe the Pro will be white.
Yeah, that'd be sweet.
Even the people in my household who are very, very just big Animal Crossing fans are kind of like, man, I feel like they're just not like the dock, which is the kind of the coolest thing about it.
Yeah, for sure.
Goes in the entertainment center and you're never gonna see it.
Yeah, and the colors of the Joy-Cons, I don't really like it. The whole Easter pastel colors, like I don't know.
Yes,
that's just
sea foam and toothpaste.
Yeah,
Crest.
I mean, those aren't terrible colors or anything, but it's just, I don't know. They don't do much for me.
Yeah. It's interesting. It's interesting. The thing is, like, we were looking at the Switch Lite, and Jen was thinking like, I wonder if I'll just get the turquoise Switch Lite, So.
Yeah, I mean, hold off as long as you can. You never know. They might do something, especially if we ever get a direct. But we talked about it last week, how odd it was that we just got this in a tweet being an announcement for the console coming out.
That I don't think I've been on the show in about 8 months, but that Pokemon Switch Lite is about the coolest exclusive I think out there. So I just wanted to circle back to that, and that's all.
Yeah.
They could have done something very similar to that with Animal Crossing, and I think it would have been great.
I think the Dragon Quest one that they did in Japan was also pretty cool. The royal blue Joy-Cons, and they got artwork on the back, I think.
So, I just looked this up. Animal Crossing, New Horizons ESRB rating says it will have in-game purchases. In-game purchases. This is interesting. The game is
Could be
also
concerning.
will not allow save data transfers. Not only is there only one island per console, but you will also not be able to transfer your save data to another console. Owners of the Lite and regular Switch will have to decide which console they want to play this game on.
Gosh, that seems like such a big miss.
Talk to me,
Seems
Goose.
like such a big
Why?
miss.
Tell me.
I don't understand the tactic. So, we were talking about this before the show, and I don't understand it at all. This isn't a competitive game. This isn't Splatoon 2. Let's say you do want to cheat. Who does that harm? Who cares?
Okay,
You ruin the game for yourself.
Well, and you mentioned Splatoon 2. Splatoon 2, you can even take your save data from your
Right.
primary Switch, and you can do a transfer. Like Josh had to do that when he went in and bought a new, but got his, was that the Smash Switch when you switched to that? Like you did the trade-in?
I had one under warranty.
Oh, you had a bad kickstand or something like that. Yeah.
The kickstand.
And so that's a great
in store. Yeah.
No, he brings up a great point. What if your Switch, dies on you?
Yep.
You get to start a new island over.
Yeah, see that. Why?
I'd only lose 300 and some hours on New Leaf if that happened.
It doesn't make sense. There's no logical reason. There's no justifiable reason. I'm sure they've used some sort of logic, but there's no justifiable reason this is the case. Like, I mean, please tweet at us if you think that we're off base or I'm off base. I don't know where everyone else stands, but tweet at us and let us know why you think they're doing this. But it doesn't make sense to me and seems like a huge miss.
What chat is saying? Nintendo said this week that they're exploring an alternative to back up your save or obtain save if your Switch breaks or is stolen.
Yeah, I mean, why even develop an alternative? They have a cloud offering for that. Just use the thing you already have.
Right. Yeah.
They're gonna, what their alternative's gonna be? It's gonna be one of those. Remember those old school, like when you're playing Mike Tyson's Punch Out and
punch in a code.
Yeah, that's what the alternative's gonna be.
That's a lot. Like those are some bonkers codes, like to get your island right, the fruit, all your items.
Yeah.
Like
it's gonna be like a 600-digit code, and that's how you get it back.
I hope it's a QR or something. Like there's no camera. I don't know. Let the IR on the the Joy-Con scan it.
So I mean I'm fairly naive when it comes to understanding all of Animal Crossing stuff. How much does like turnips or like the market in the game, can it be manipulated? Like does the community set a price for it or anything like that?
No. Here's how it works. Every day your stock prices goes up or down in the morning and night, right? If you time travel, all of your stocks go bad. They all die. So you can't. The idea is that, so what you would do is, Crawler, you would time travel to find the best price and leave all your turnips with me, and then you would come get them. We would go back to your place and sell everything for the highest price. That's one way of cheating, right? So, of gaming the system. But I mean, again, kind of like Eric's saying, the only thing I can think of, like I'll try to like play devil's advocate here a little bit, is like maybe they are planning surprises throughout the year that they want to kind of keep secret, that hopefully is something really super cool and not something that's just tied to an in-app purchase, right? Or an in-game purchase. I mean,
unless they're held on the server, data miners are going to find it anyways and reveal it. So
exactly.
Well, and a lot of this stuff, how much of it can actually be stored on the server, because the console is not 100% connected all the time. So
yeah, I don't know. The scenario you said, while obviously not the way the developer intended you to play it, it doesn't hurt me if you do that. If anything, it's going to make you get burnt out on the game faster, and that's your own problem, but it doesn't hurt me or anyone else. I don't
unless with this game they are planning a global market or something like that. I don't know.
And maybe that's what the in-app purchases are gonna come into play. Maybe there is going to be a way to, maybe the in-app purchases are the reason all of this is kind of happening, because they don't want you to pay for a product, pay for something in the game, and then be able to clone it 6,000 times. If you're buying stuff with real money now, maybe that's where things are becoming an issue.
Mm-hmm. And that's a good point. That could be the case. So, and it's, I mean, we're just podcasters, right? There's always that caveat. Like, well, they should just make this thing work. I'm on a podcast and I got a microphone in my face and this is how things go, you know? Like, just push the one button to make everything cloud saves. It's simple. It's simple.
Yep.
We don't know. We don't know. We hope there's a good reason behind it, right? Because it doesn't seem very like consumer friendly, and a lot of people are very upset by it. And I mean, I get it. I jokingly said I'd get to start my 300 hours over, but I would be pretty bummed out. Like,
Yeah, for sure.
Like if you're a fan of Animal Crossing, you know how much you have invested into your game. I mean, I still have my original GameCube, like the original town, the first one. My face is in that game because people like my uncle went pixel by pixel and put my face. So people like my townspeople are running around with my face on their shirts, you know. So like,
well, and that original game is important too because you have all the NES games in your basement.
You have better NES games on there than we do on the Switch Online.
Oh wow.
Ooh, shots fired.
I think it's identical, but man, yeah. But yeah, and some of the fun stuff to do back then was like hook your Game Boy up to it and take those NES games with you, your Game Boy Advance. Yeah. Like that was good stuff. Those were the days. Those were the days. Hey, let's talk about how to overcome a Nintendo Direct drought.
Here we go!
All right. So, how many days, Eric, since we've had the sweet water from Nintendo? We're
159 days.
159
days without a direct, without a full direct. I think we did get
proper.
Yeah, we had a couple.
We had an indie showcase and some Pokemon stuff
and Smash stuff.
And a Smash
but
one.
none of they didn't even call those directs, you know. So, 159 days.
Question
160 tomorrow.
Is Nintendo looking at I can't imagine this being the case, but they did just have it seems like they had a sale. Like what was that through?
There's an eShop sale going on right now, I think.
For Nintendo first party?
I don't know.
Okay, I think
I know that a few first party games are on sale, like physical at some locations as well.
Here's what I feel like Nintendo's doing. I feel like they are sitting back on the fact that Pokemon sold 16 million units, that Mario Kart's at 22, Odyssey's still flying off the shelf, Smash is still flying off the shelf. Like, I think they were like, you know what? Let's take a minute and just keep I see promoted tweets all the time for Pokemon. Yeah. And this home thing just came out today, so there's a good chance that there may be some people that are like, oh, this home thing's pretty cool, I don't know how it works exactly, and then they're like, yeah, I'm gonna pick up this game now, right? And it seems like they're kind of going, I mean, they're obviously watching the trends and stuff to see how fast, and at one point in the last 2 months they were the top 10 on like all the UK games. Like it was all Nintendo Switch games, at least, or maybe it was 9 of the 10. I don't know. Regardless, I'm wondering if they're just like, we can take a second here to let people recover from the holidays that are still using gift cards and things like that, and just sell our existing product because it's flying off the shelves as it is. And then, I have a feeling once Animal Crossing drops, it's going to be a full, we're going to get almost that immediate, here's the direct, here's your Mario Golf,
if you're telling me I have to wait another month and a half or a month and 10 days to get the direct, that I don't want to hear that. I don't want you to tell me that right now.
The reason it makes it hard is, what is it, going back to, was it August last year? August to November, it was a game, first party either published or developed game from Nintendo every 3 weeks, and it was a struggle to keep up. And I think all three of us have Astral Chain sitting by somewhere, barely played, and I did beat Luigi's Mansion, but there are some of those games from that timetable that I haven't gotten around to either playing a lot of or even that much at all. And it just seems like we went from one extreme to the exact opposite. and we were just getting hit constantly over and over and over again with new releases, and it was great. And there was third-party stuff added in there as well, and then even on top of that, like Dragon Quest 11 at the end of the year and Pokemon and all that kind of stuff. But now it's been barely anything. Even eShop offerings hasn't been that great of new stuff.
Yeah, and I think Nintendo's just notorious. They're just different than PlayStation and Microsoft are. You know, PlayStation and Microsoft have no fear of announcing things years, months in advance. Nintendo doesn't really do that as much, you know, and so right now, if you're not super pumped on Animal Crossing, you don't really have anything to be excited for as a Switch owner or fan. You know, if Animal Crossing isn't your cup of tea, you know, Xenoblade remasters coming this year. We don't know when. We just know 2020 sometime.
Potentially May was the leak, but
Yeah, I mean, but nothing official. So 2020. Okay. What else do we know? Like, what do we really know for this year?
We talked about it last week, but the Wonderful 101 is kickstarted, and that'll be out in April.
Cool.
I mean, we had the Fire Emblem Encore, whatever that, I forget what that game's called. That came out a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Tokyo Mirage.
Yeah, Tokyo Mirage Session, and then a game I'm not super into either is the Pokemon Mystery Dungeon is coming out in like a week or two, I think.
I'm really glad that game had a demo, because that's, you know, in my desperation to buy something, I would have picked it up had that demo not been there. So thank you for having that demo for me, so I could realize it's not a game for me. Hopefully that doesn't come to haunt them. Hopefully enough people like it and pick it up. But you know, after playing it for a little bit, I was like, yeah, you know, this just doesn't do it for me.
A few people I've talked to about that game have the nostalgia vibes for it, so that are like, they're like, oh, I can't wait to jump back in, you know, like, which, I mean, that's great. I love hearing that stuff because that's me when it comes to these older titles. I mean, I'm wearing a Super Mario Brothers hat right now, right? Like,
Sure.
It's cool. It's cool. It's just, it's not necessarily for me.
The art style's great. Looks like I think we talked about it, or you talked about it, but it looks like Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, the art style is fantastic, but I'm, you know, gameplay, and it just didn't do it for me.
Yep.
Okay, so we're talking about overcoming or surviving the drought. It's the good time to either A, go to your backlog of stuff that you haven't completed yet, or B, what's some of the stuff you talked about doing, Eric? There was a handful of games that you had kind of on your wish list or something that you're like, oh yeah, I got to go back
for
to
sure.
this.
So yeah, I was looking back at some of the stuff I missed because it came out at a time where it's so like The Tourist came out, and that was one I was really interested in and excited in, and I just kind of lost it in all the new games, all the holiday, you know, 5 months later. So I'm gonna pick that up, and I applaud anyone to take this time to breathe and find some of those older games. That's why I picked up Firewatch. Now, obviously that's much older, but that's one that's been on my radar since it was a PC exclusive and eventually came to console. You know, I've been seeing that game for years now, and I'm finally like, you know, I've got time, might as well pick it up. And Lumberjoke says Riding Stables is still in my backlog for sure. You know, that game it might as well be Nintendo first party, because that bad boy does not go on sale on Amazon. So
sticks hard at $40.
Yeah, they're not letting up. They are really proud of that one. But yeah, you know, maybe now's a great time for me to pick that up.
About Gear Club, did you play Gear Club yet?
No.
Did you buy it?
I did download the Army Men Toy Soldier game.
Yeah.
Forget the name of it.
Yeah.
I didn't start it, but I downloaded it.
Okay.
So I plan to start that.
Did you buy?
So
I mean, I have a game coming. Sorry.
Gear Club.
I think I did when you text me about it.
Yeah, because I'm supposed to pay you back if you don't like it.
That's right. And you know, honestly, like, there's some of those games that I've bought on sale and just never started. You know, there's an eShop sale, and it's like, well, Undertale's $2, might as well buy it, and I never played it. So now's the time for me to go back to some of those things. But we talked about it before, and I'm kind of that person who needs something on the horizon to keep me going, keep me excited. And yeah, I feel like I'm in a little bit of a slump with my gaming because there's not a whole lot on the close horizon in any gaming. A lot of stuff is being held out for next gen on the other platforms, and Nintendo's not telling me anything. So
I mean, I have, speaking of like backlog stuff, I have Axiom Verge, which I've had for a while and I haven't sat down and played it. But with Axiom Verge 2 on the horizon, as I think that is also a Switch exclusive, and I think that's supposed to be here by fall or winter of this year. So, we'll definitely be getting it near the end of the year. But that's something I want to sit down and play. And then I have a new game coming, a newer game I think that went on a little bit on sale at Best Buy and that I purchased. Valfaris, which is another, so Axiom Verge is Metroidvania like, and it's same thing with this one. So I have some Metroidvania kind of stuff to jump into, which can take some time usually. So that can eat up some time if I can ever pull myself away from Tarkov. So I mean that's the other thing. Like if we're talking about bored by like being in a direct drought, like my drive to play Switch isn't like at an all-time high right now because that hype is just not there. So
yeah.
And we talked a little bit at the beginning, like as soon as we get into April ish is when kind of some of those titles are coming out, even on other platforms as well. Doom is coming out on the day Animal Crossing comes out, on at least on Xbox, PC, and PlayStation, and then eventually on Switch.
And then never on Switch.
I think they even delay it a little bit past when they had originally said it was. I think it's just
indefinite.
Undecided day.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be day and date originally last year when it was supposed to come out, and then it got pushed, and then it was Switch will be done when it's done, and so we'll see. But
it'll be a new Switch Pro game.
So I mean, and I think when I was flipping through articles today on putting together the new stuff, Breath of the Wild 2 might be later than we think, as well as like the clickbaity title of the article.
I'd be really shocked if Breath of the Wild 2 comes out in 2020. Like I think 2021's it's got to be. That's just my gut feeling. Obviously, I know nothing, but for a title as big as Breath of the Wild, I feel like they would start pumping more information out ahead of time. It's not like a Super Mario Party where they announce it a month in advance. Like they for a title like that, they're going to start pushing information out. Like how many years did we hear about Breath of the Wild before it came out?
Well, yeah, it was a Wii U title that got pushed and pushed. And,
too many.
Yeah. I mean, Spare Change says it here. I was going to ask, but I don't think that the E3 Direct is going to be our next Direct. But my question to you guys, I know it can probably be something we discuss later on as well. What do you think the E3 title, like the showpiece on the floor, is going to be at E3 this year?
4 Wii U games.
Yeah, I mean,
we get Xenoblade Chronicles X dropped, and
Mario
off the success of Xenoblade Chronicles 1.
Mario and the 2 Zeldas. And maybe Pikmin.
Oh, that'd be good. And I could see that. I could also see the Metroid Prime trilogy. Because I don't think 4 is coming out.
Everyone's been calling for that for a while.
But none of that is that new hot title. It's all remasters and stuff everyone's playing. So
if you're listening to this and you haven't bought Mario Kart 8, please don't, so Mario Kart 9 can come out. That's all I'm saying.
Stop supporting the game.
You guys all keep buying it, and they're never gonna release 9.
Says the man who's bought it like 4 times. Come on,
that was 3 years
it.
ago. Okay, no judgment here. That's the thing. Nintendo, if anyone can hear this, please make DLC. I need more tracks. I need items balanced, please. Those invincibility frames after the shell hits. Come on, I need my blue shells to be hidden when I'm in second.
So,
I need first.
So to go to that, maybe in E3 we do see, maybe it's not Mario Kart, but another Nintendo racing game, because Mario Kart 8 is very old at this point.
It's a Wii U title.
Star Fox Grand Prix was rumored a long time ago. Maybe that's not dead. Maybe that is real. maybe Diddy Kong Racing makes a return.
F-Zero still viable on the SNES Online.
Yeah,
I really think we'll see a Mario sports title. I think it's time for golf and baseball and soccer to all come back.
Yeah, and I hope they just put together a better showing than what Aces was.
And I think it's time that the Game Boy gets some love on the Switch too, and we start seeing that library make its way.
I thought they did a pretty good job with Aces overall. I'm not sure. I mean, it's been a while, so maybe my anger has subsided or something. But I don't even remember what the problems with Aces were at this point. Like, I mean, they struggled off the launch, but
yeah, I mean, they've fixed it a little bit better with the online tournaments and stuff. The online tournaments were not great at the beginning.
I mean, Josh and I had a ton of fun on that. I think the three of us and Mel's were doing doubles, and I mean, that was a blast. And so, I mean, at the end of the day, as a sports title, it was a ton of fun.
Yeah, I really liked it too. I fired it up last night and tried to do the tournament, and I couldn't. Now I could.
Was it Ghost Town?
It was, but it could have also been. It could have been the internet I was dealing with too. There's a chance. So there's a chance. So although we did play Mario Kart online, it was fine. But I was also really close to the router. So I don't know. The other times I fired up. And they're still supporting Aces. Like you can still like unlock different like Yoshis and different Koopa shells and wings and all this kind of stuff. Like there's still stuff going on in that game. So
I just think there's more to be had, and especially in golf, like online and just with different courses that they can have. So
what's interesting about golf is it came out on the 3DS, and it was a good title. It was a great title. It had those RPG elements that people were hoping were going to be in Aces, which I think that's part of what the hate came about, was that they did not like the fact that it did not have the. In fact, when I pulled it out last night, it was like, hey, that's what Andre mentioned. He's like, man, that game was so close. That story mode was so close, to being great. So
and strikers too, like they're primed up for strikers to come back too. Strikers and baseball. Like it's been a long time.
Yeah, it has. Here's the thing. Tennis, everybody was like, we've got this, they've got to improve on the overall tennis aspect. And so what they do, they added these special moves, kind of made it almost like a fighting game in a way. And I loved all that. I thought that was great. And they still gave you the simple option, right? So it was the best of both worlds. What was interesting about golf is that like, I'm not all that interested in playing as my own character and leveling up. But I mean, they even had Callaway stuff in that last game. Like it was kind of legit. It was kind of legit. But I don't like the extras were like you could hit the balls through rings and things like that. It wasn't just your typical golf game. And I'm just not sure that these sports titles hold up like they used to without some kind of major changes to them, because imagine trying to sell a golf game right now to teenagers.
Yeah,
they don't care.
Also,
I was buying Mario Golf on my Nintendo 64 as a teenager because I was like, yeah, it's Mario Golf, it's gonna be sweet,
Just throw some emotes in there and they'll buy it.
So golf one of the few titles that has been on a Nintendo platform that actually has mildly okay internet service, like with being on the 3DS.
Golf is done beautifully on the 3DS. You can play with I think up to 8 people, and you just see everybody's ball go flying at the exact same time. You don't have to sit and watch everybody.
Yeah, and that's something that like Tiger Woods PGA Tour introduced. I don't remember what year it was, but it was something that was like it was you just see the streaks of the balls. No, that was kind of it. But like Strikers was something that was on the Wii and didn't really have an online component to it. And so I wonder how these. I think a lot of the letdown that came with Aces was a lot of people got their fill in the beta that they did, and the experience wasn't always positive. and then they struggled with character balance at the very beginning, and so I think it's the added caveat of just online network issues and balancing and all that kind of stuff that Nintendo is not necessarily known for. I think Smash is its own team, and Sakurai and all that kind of they're separate, and they're kind of regarded in that way. But Nintendo proper doesn't necessarily do online the best. So I mean, I think that's the added weight of making these sports titles function well. You don't want to have the lag and all that kind of stuff.
On 3DS,
and it's more apparent in a game like Aces than it would be in golf. If there was lag in golf, no one would likely care.
Mm-hmm.
On 3DS, you had Mario Sports All-Stars, which allowed you to play soccer, baseball, golf, tennis, and horseback riding. I believe it was those 5. All had online, and all worked pretty well. Like, they all worked pretty well. But they were just dumbed down versions of each of those games.
Right.
You know. So
yeah, and I mean, speaking of dumbed down versions as well, like Mario and Sonic at the Olympics, I haven't played much of that game since I played it the first week it came out. I don't even know, does that game have online stuff? I don't even remember if it does or not.
I'm pretty sure it does.
I'd have to dig it out to look at.
I think it was limited. I think it was limited of the events, but yeah, I mean, it's just like we need a proper full game and not these like mini game-esque type experiences.
Right.
But I mean, this whatever comes out in this next direct, I think it'll be a big direct, because I think they're gonna. Well,
I mean, it kind of has to be, right?
They're gonna. Yes and no, because at this point we keep pushing it later and later. They aren't gonna give us anything past June. Like, they might give us a sneak peek of something, but they aren't going to give us anything past June, because June is going to be
what
E3.
do we have? April and May.
I mean, yes, I agree.
I mean, what do we have?
Like, February.
Like,
we're already almost halfway through February,
and there's nothing.
I love, if you guys are only listening and you don't get to see Eric's face, go watch the YouTube video and fast forward to this part, because he's just like, he's just, his head is swaying and he doesn't know what to do. It's like, I need Nintendo games. I need it.
It's a rough time right now. I mean, we don't know anything. Yeah. I think there's still a chance they announce this. You know, by the time you're listening to this, there's still a chance that there's a direct announced, and this was all for nothing. But
they announced something on Thursday for a Tuesday direct.
No, I mean, they've done Wednesday announcements for a 3 p.m. Thursday direct.
That's true.
So, and I'm guessing if this is a big direct, it's going to be with some M-rated titles, so it'll be one of those 3 p.m. ones. So
I have a hard time believing they're going to try to put anything in front of Animal Crossing at this point.
Well, it doesn't have to be, but we don't even know what's coming before, after, in the middle of. I mean,
I don't disagree, but I'm even thinking it seems like the way their marketing has been going, they only push for the titles that are close. So unless they finally give us some information about Animal Crossing in this direct.
Well, I think we'll get an Animal Crossing direct like early March. I think you'll get a proper Animal Crossing direct, because there's still so many unanswered questions about that game itself.
Well, yeah, and that game is 5.5 weeks out, like little bit less than that now.
I wouldn't be surprised if there's a direct now, and then 2 weeks later an Animal Crossing direct.
We say that every week on this show. There's got to be a direct coming here sometimes.
Eventually, we're gonna be right. We have to. We have to. They can't keep us in the dark forever. Eventually, they're gonna have to tell us what games are coming so we can buy them.
I don't know. Wii U, they kept people in the dark for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they did.
All right,
and so that's just. Oh yeah.
No, go.
It is what it is.
Go.
No, I don't have anything else. Give us something, Nintendo. I'm begging you. Please hit me up. You know, Twitter, hate0, Nintendo at me. Let me know what's coming. My DMs are open, Nintendo.
Oh wait, Eric, where can people find you? Where can Nintendo find
Nintendo specifically, you can find me on Twitter. You can find me on your eShop looking for any information I can. You can, you'll find us in Discord. No, for real. Hit me up on Twitter. I'm starting to fly the drone a little bit more. I'm gonna start posting some fun stuff with that. There's always gonna be photos of Sapphire the dog. Come to the Discord. There's a lot of good shenanigans. It definitely can fill up your time while you're waiting in the dark for a direct.
Crawler, where can people find you?
You guys can find me on Twitter at Nightcrawler724, Nightcrawlers without the E. Also hanging out in the Discord. We've mentioned it before. So yeah, if you, I'm gonna beat Josh's punch to it. But if you want to come right, make sure you're hitting up Josh in the Discord. Let him know. He'll get you added in. Get in while there's not a lot of news to write. So get in at the slow time, and then be ready for the rush once it hits.
Guys, you can follow me everywhere at N64Josh. I'd love to connect with you, chat with you. Tell us how we're wrong. Jump into the conversation. Let's have fun, though, right? Let's just have adult, fun conversation. All right? I haven't asked for these in quite a while, but if you guys are liking the show and you listen on iTunes, take a second. Give us a review. That'd be great. And also, if you're enjoying the show, think about sharing it with some people for us. It's the best way for us to get more eyes and ears on this stuff. So if you're watching on YouTube, share it. If you got Facebook groups or something that you're a part of on Facebook or whatever, help us spread the word. We really appreciate it. So that's that. The chair I'm sitting in from OPC, n64josh.com/OPC. You want to get a free book from Audible? Head on over to audibletrial.com/NPC. And that's it. I just want to say thank you guys for everything. I've been putting out some content recently, just talking about getting started with content creation, and it's been a ton of fun. I really enjoy doing it. Yeah, I hope if you're hearing this that you love yourself and that you know that you're awesome, because you are, and we really appreciate you listening and all that you guys do. So if you're a part of the community, or you just listen in the shadows, thank you. We love you. That's it. That's episode 256 in the bag. n64josh.com/NPC 256. Crawler, thank you. Eric, thank you. And yeah, come chat with us on Twitter, guys. We'd love to chat. Bye now. Stop the recording. Stop it.